welcome to another episode of the Pony Podcast with me, Tess Bishop and Alex Van Randwick. This week we're joined by Amy Blount of Amy Blount Dressage, and we chat all things how she got into dressage, including having done pretty much every other equestrian discipline beforehand. She does loads and loads of coaching, so how she's coping in the current situation with keeping up with her clients and making sure that they feel like she's still invested in them and she still manages to keep them progressing and keep them going forward. Completely unlike us, we get very off topic and there's a lot of tangent following, but it's quite a good funny episode. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Anyway, hi Amy. Sorry.
Hi. The problems of, not being in a city, really, isn't it? How are you doing? All good?
Yeah, good. Good. Yeah.
How are you coping with isolation?
Yeah, all right. I can still go to the yard and stuff, so
that's good.
It's kind of, thank God, because I think I probably wouldn't be coping with isolation otherwise. But yeah, other than that, it's okay. Just the whole not working very much thing's a bit boring, but what can you do?
I was furloughed by work on Tuesday, so I had been really busy up until Tuesday, and then suddenly it was now I've got nothing to do. So I'm just kind of like faffing, not really doing anything. I'm gonna have to find some projects.
Embrace it. That's what you have to do, is just embrace it rather than panic about it. Embrace it.
So Amy, thank you very much for agreeing to come on the podcast to talk about your coaching and what you've been doing in this strange situation.
That's okay.
It is a very strange situation.
Oh, good. I was just checking you could hear.
We can hear you. How did you first get into riding?
So my family, I come from a horsey family, really. My mum has always ridden and my dad have always ridden, and we had a thoroughbred stallion that they bred from. My dad used to do endurance on him, and so we just kind of I just got plonked on a pony that mum was breaking in, and it sort of spiraled out of control from there, really.
So did you not want to follow your dad into endurance?
I did. And I loved it.
Alex,
so I did
endurance advocate over here.
Yeah, no, I love it. I absolutely love it. I did it right up until I moved down. So I was originally born and bred in Shropshire, so Shropshire Worcestershire borders. I did absolutely everything I possibly could, all pony club activities, evented, dressage, endurance, until I moved down to Hampshire, pretty much, which was until, I think I was probably 19 when I moved down. So yeah, no, I did endurance. I was an advanced endurance rider, raced up to 50 miles, did a lot of the junior FEI young rider races, loved it.
What drew you to dressage then? Because endurance and dressage are kind of like polar opposites.
Yeah, they are. It was kind of an accident. I was never a dressage fan, if I'm honest, ever. And like everybody, now when people say this, I'm like, oh, for God's sake, but actually I didn't like dressage that much because I never had anyone, I think, right at the beginning to inspire me to want to do it.
Yeah.
And I started going to the pony club dressage rallies, and the instructor we had was a bit like, well, you'll never be on teams, because I had like a red bit on my martingale, or just not the right kind of tack. Is kind of I just had very all-round general tack, not dressage tack, and she was very dressagey. And that put me off, and then so I was like, well, fine, I just won't do it. And then as I'm still on my one of my first pony club ponies was a Welsh cob, 4-year-old Welsh cob, who I clearly did not know how to do anything dressage on, and bless her, she wasn't that intent on doing it either. So it's actually most of the time with her head between the knees, bronking around. I even got sent out of camp because she was too isolated to my own group until I could stop her bucking. So then as I got a little bit older, I actually moved on to some of the horses we bred. who I actually, they were much more sort of, I mean, I probably just got better at riding, I think probably is the, is the bottom line. And I started going to some of the dressage rallies on those because I wanted to event. And I was like, yeah, do you know, I really need to like work this out and do some dressage. And yeah, then I started to really enjoy it because I love the whole training the horse and then starting to improve. So that was like massive moment for me. Then I was like, oh my God, like I can make these horses better. And then of course, once you get that feel, you just want more, don't you? And you know, by the time when I was in my GCSEs, I can remember I had 6 horses in work, all in different spheres. Wow. Some of them doing just dressage, some eventing, 1 endurance horse. But all of them did dressage in the winter, all of them. And it was just part of the general training plan. And I just loved the general training of the horse.
Yeah.
And then I was really lucky. Started going to something called the West Midlands Dressage Group, run by Carol and Jeff Simpson. Still going now. They are amazing. And I started to get in contact, you know, have training with, you know, higher level people, Isla Orty, and I've actually managed to.
What did you say?
Sorry?
Oh, I just made it that I know Isla.
Oh, okay.
I met her when I was at Nick.
Isla is responsible for me being in Hampshire. So, because then I basically got through the West Midlands Dressage Group and Cape Town as well. I love dressage even more, started doing the areas, started competing affiliated, got really keen on it, but I was still jumping and stuff. And then Isla was like, you really ought to go and work on a dressage yard. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, but I'm doing it myself. Like I'm teaching at home, and I started teaching in Pony Club at that point, was loving it. And I was still of Pony Club age at this point. So I was doing some dressage rallies and coaching at camp. But it started to get a bit awkward when I was riding in the open team and warming up my teammates. It was getting really difficult to try and do a really good job myself. So then, yeah, I was really lucky. I did a year with Sue Chartis, who is amazing lady, still, like, she's just brilliant. And I did my AI, Pony Club AH, and my MBQ 2 and 3. So basically set me up then to go and do whatever I wanted. And that's when Isla was like, you really, really need to go and work on a dressage yard now. And I was I have to. I really don't want to. I've set up at home and then I moved down I went for the interview begrudgingly at Catherstone, and I didn't really, if I'm honest, I didn't even know who Jenny was.
Yeah.
And I was literally like, do you know, all I want to go and do is show them that I can ride their horses, and then I'm leaving. Which is very arrogant. And I went there and I rode the 4-year-old that they put me on, and they were like, so when can you start? I was like, well, not yet. And they still offered me a job, and they still took me. And so I finished my year with Sue, and then went down to Pakistan in January. And I was like, I'm only going to stay for like ATES training, and then I'm gone. Like I'm going to do a month, and then a month turned into 3 months, and then 3 months turned into 6 months, and then 6 months turned into 5.5 years.
Wow.
So yeah, that's kind of how I ended up doing dressage.
You only came to dressage quite late. How did you find, like, the jump between the disciplines, but also everyone else having done it from when they were like really, really young?
I think the biggest thing I struggled with was there was a lot of people, like even people I went to school with, were doing sort of like juniors and young riders, and I really struggled with the like, oh my God, they're doing really high level stuff, and I'm here on my 4-year-olds which are wobbling out of the arena, and I can barely ride in a straight line. But I think everyone was sort of like, just keep going, because actually you might not have a really expensive posh dressage horse, but what you can do is ride lots of different horses and ride them well. So people kept going, and they said, you know, do the talent spotting, do the young professionals program. And yeah, I did, and I you know, my skill was swapping horses. That was really cool, and I loved doing that. You know, it worked really well for the young professionals and the talent spotting. So I just kept going. But it was, yeah, I don't know, I think for me it gave me a better grounding, if I'm honest, for my coaching and my riding.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd do any different.
That's cool. So talking about you starting coaching, what inspired you to like take that leap and start doing the coaching side as well as performing?
I think because I mean, I just love helping people, and you know, my main horse that I well, he's finished now, but he the main horse that I took up to into one, he was one of my pony club ponies. You know, he competed at the areas. I rode him bareback at camp and jumped in bareback at camp. He's an Anglo Arab that was bred for endurance, and I still managed to get into one. And I kind of feel like people should feel like there's someone out there that's like, yeah, come on, you can do this.
Yeah.
And I think it's just nice to have somebody who's actually shown that you can do this. It is possible. And I think I just like to help people on their journeys and show them that the impossible is really possible if you go for it.
I think that's really important, because I think there are so many people out there that can be quite negative, or say, you know, I think your horses can only get to this level, and you know, it really puts a cap on what you think you can achieve. And I think having someone that inspires you is so important.
Yeah, definitely.
So but aside from that, is that what you enjoy most about coaching?
Yeah, and I mean, as I've got into it more, weirdly, I almost love coaching the person more than the horse now. Which is, I mean, I love, obviously, don't get me wrong, I love working with horses, but actually coaching, getting into the rider's mindset and working out like how to help them to the best of my ability is like a forever challenge for me, and I love it. So yeah, I think, I mean, obviously I love working outdoors and things like that, but the more I can help people, the better. And the more diverse, and if I have to think outside the box, then even better. I love a challenge.
I love it when you're teaching and you've been trying to explain a concept, and then they have that moment where you can see there's like a light bulb and it's just clicked, and then suddenly it like makes sense. I absolutely love that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love to be able to try and find a way to get to that moment but what I really like is the self-discovery, that they've discovered that themselves, that have managed to give the rider ownership. And you know, even now, clients that I've had for a little while, I'm like, okay, so you know, you're designing the session today, what are we going to work on, how are we going to work on it? And then they feed back to me what it all worked on and everything, and oh my god, that's really cool.
I used to love well, I don't do that much coaching anymore, but I used to love when you've had a kid and you've been trying to work on this thing and you've been trying to think of so many ways to get to it because they just haven't got it, and suddenly they understand and they're like, oh my god, what you said worked, and you're like, yeah.
Literally. Yeah, I've been saying that for a while, but yeah, definitely.
I actually know what I'm talking about. That's why your mum pays me.
Oh dear, yeah, the realization of that is always brilliant.
So with the current situation, obviously you can't get out and about to coach, what have you been doing, or have you changed your coaching to fit with what's happening?
Well, I think the problem is everything changes every single day, doesn't it? The guidelines of what we can and can't do. So basically, once it came out that we couldn't really coach, I decided that at that point I needed to. I think it's really important as coaches, you're still there for your riders and that you can still support them. And it's difficult because this is obviously like you know, coaching is my sole income. So that's, you know, you get to the point where like, oh my God, but I'm kind of okay with that because it is what it is. And as far as I'm concerned, it's more important that actually we can help and support our riders through this, so we all come out of this better, than actually thinking, God, how am I going to make money? You know, I haven't got a livelihood here. But actually, so what I've done is I've got, weirdly, an app, which came with my website, and it's a little bit, it's basically people can book their lessons and things on there, and I'm pretty sure until now I really haven't made the most of it. Like, I've just had it because then they can go on, they can book their lessons, they don't have to actually wait for me to reply, and it's been brilliant for that. But what you can also do is create groups on there. So a bit like Facebook groups, but this is purely for people that have been or are booking sessions with me. So, and I think it's quite nice to have somewhere away from Facebook. because actually social media at the moment is carnage. And I've actually seen a lot of riders in the last couple of weeks, because I'm at my yard, I have quite a lot of clients who obviously I'm not teaching now, who are like completely depressed with the idea. They just have no idea what they can and what they can't do. Aww. And where they stand. And it's really sad, because actually it's almost made them feel guilty for even going and doing their horses, not even riding. And actually I kind of felt like it was important that I set up some kind of support network. Yeah. So there's a couple of things I've done. Is I set up basically a loyalty club, which is they pay just £10 a month, and in there they get an exercise of the week, a mindset tip a week, and then they get a video of me talking about something that they can do. So for example, this week's about reflection. Last week I can't remember what I did last week, but something that they can do. And usually that is off the horse, because you're dealing with a range of people that, some people are still riding, some people aren't even allowed to go to their yard. So I'm trying to deliver things that they can still be doing to feel like that they can still be working towards their goals. And then I sent, absolutely, because that's the thing. I think everybody just feels like, because there's no competitions or anything, it's just come to a halt. But you can still work towards your goals. We just don't have to do it towards an outcome. We can do it towards the process, which is probably what we should do anyway. And then I set up clinic groups as well. So because I teach in Shropshire and Worcestershire and Dorset and on the Isle of Wight, to still stay in contact with those guys, I've set up some clinic groups, which again, they don't pay for that. It is just me offering them support, so they can message me at any time, and they get an exercise of the week and a mindset tip a week as well.
Oh, that's so nice. That must be so helpful, like fighting isolation wise. Like everyone's saying how important it is to stay connected, and like if you're, especially because you don't have a goal to be working towards, it must be so easy to just be like, oh well, I can't be bothered to do anything, and actually being able to be isolated is so important.
Yeah, definitely. And actually I'm still doing some unmounted coaching calls, so just like some video unmounted. So we sit down, and basically these are the versions. I offer unmounted sessions anyway, for goal setting, mindset, warm-up plans, all of those kind of things, and we're doing that via sort of FaceTime or WhatsApp call or whatever. And actually I sat down with a girl last night, and she's not riding that much, and she was like, well, I just don't know what to do. And we talked through what her ultimate goal was this year, and we then worked back through all the things she had booked in and why she chose to do them. And her goal is that she wanted to get to her first event this year, but the things actually she was ultimately worried about was the changeovers between the spheres. And I was like, well, you can still practice that. Like, why can you not tack up for dressage, untack and tack up for jumping? Time yourself, see how quickly you can change it. Practice loading up the van and making sure that you've got everything on your kit list. Have you got a kit list? All of these things probably should do to make our life a lot easier, and we never do. So now's the time to actually work out where you can get those little minimal gains to make the most difference.
Have you, just as an aside, have you guys seen the new app from Epco Ratings? It's called On Form. I haven't really looked a lot about it, but it just seems relevant.
I haven't looked. I saw a post on the VHS thing about that people weren't sure about insurance with it, but I haven't looked yet.
I've got their like just the Instagram post up now, and because I haven't looked into it properly yet, but it just says it's a tool to help riders and coaches connect, and I feel like it probably involves some form of video analysis and sending it to coaches.
They put it on their Flick chat about December time, asking people what their views were on having a platform where they could video and send it to a coach at home, anywhere in the world, etc., and get feedback on their riding from home.
I do think it seems like a really good idea.
I think I think if it complies with everything, I think it's definitely going forwards, it's worth it, isn't it? I mean, that's another thing I've been offering is video feedback, but I just make sure that I actually do them a feedback sheet and give them recommended exercises and key points and areas to focus on learning.
That's really good, because it ties into the interview we did with Harriet Upton, where she was talking to another athlete, and the other athlete just couldn't believe how much we do on our own without our coaches. And it's fair, like,
Yeah.
in any other sport, every time you went to training, your coach would be there telling you what to do and how to improve and what the session was on, and we just go off and do it by ourselves. So it makes sense to try and help bring that loop back round.
Yeah, definitely. Because I know when we've been on the coach trainings and we've had different from different sports coaches come in, and they're like, oh, you're not even part of a club. Like, they'll have a football club or a rugby club, and they're like, oh, you're all on your own. That's weird. And it's true though, isn't it? The equine industry is quite isolated actually compared to other sports.
So insular, which isn't, like, in some ways it's nice, because you can just, like, I think there's less like rivalry because you're just kind of focusing on your own thing. But yeah, it's very odd.
I was going to ask about your mindset techniques that you've been helping people with. Do you find that people are finding them more useful now because they really need more motivation because they haven't got like a date for when this is all going to be over and they're stuck inside more?
Yes, definitely. It's actually one of the positives that's going to come out of this. So I had started offering unmounted training. So I did my Sense 10 Foundation course with Charlie Unwin and Sarah Huntley actually over sort of like Christmas time, because I've always loved the whole mindset and psychology behind it. And we talked about offering unmounted sessions then, and I thought, right, I'm going to make sure that people get on board with this. So I sell my lessons in block bookings, and for anybody that buys a block booking, they get an unmounted session free.
Oh, great.
So it means that they can actually use it to their advantage. We can set goals, because if they're buying a block of 6 lessons, in 6 weeks we could set some pretty cool goals and actually sort of aim at that, or even it can take 3 months really if they only have every other week. So there's quite a lot we can do and look towards that, or use it for warm-up plans or something. But definitely now, because like I say, a lot of people can't ride or have chosen not to ride, it's a definite positive alternative, because they can really tune in to what they can do now and actually check in with how specific their goals were and how reliant they were on an outcome or a result, because now we don't have that.
I've found that with my horse, because I'm an eventer, so I'm a bit like, the dressage, like, it's fine, you have to do it first so you can get to go jumping. And I've taken the decision that I am going to ride my horse, because she was intermediate fit 2 weeks ago, and if I turn her out in the field, she's probably going to injure herself. But I'm riding her less and I'm not going to jump her, so I'm like, well, I can work on my dressage, because also with her being 16, if I turn her out for 6 months, I'm pretty sure she will not come back to compete after 6 months doing nothing. So I've decided dressage is what's going to happen, and I'm going to look through all the dressage tests that possibly could have to do in the future, do the movements, work on all of that, and it's actually given me a bit of a goal. Because I was just playing with poles before. I was like, I'll do some trot poles, just cool.
See, I've almost gone the other way, because I do quite a lot of dressage. I'm going for like lots of race poles and obstacle riding, so making sure that when I set an exercise out, I've got physical obstacles to ride around. And that's something that I've put a lot to my clients as well, because you'd be surprised when you think you can steer, you can't. And it's a little eye-opener.
I was thinking the other day, like, what would I do if my horse was at home? And I think I'd just be doing poles all the time, and just right back to, like, I'd treat her like a 4-year-old and just try and get her because her canter's a bit rubbish. So I'd just take her right back and pretend she was 4 and just canter around the school and 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 try and on that. I think not having a deadline would be so good for us.
I've also I've noticed you've been doing it too, Amy. I've decided that I'm gonna work on my fitness. So I've been running. I noticed you've been doing Couch to 5K. How's that going?
Yes, surprisingly well, actually. I've surprised myself, because I actually have a run. So I got kicked in the head in October.
Oh my God.
And I basically, well, it was a nice little surprise. And I actually haven't done really that much physical exercise. I probably haven't run now since, well, probably nearly a year, because I stopped running. I get really bad shin splints. It's been a real eye-opener doing the Couch to 5K. Yeah, well, I think I've got shin splints because I don't run properly, apparently. Like, you should take more breaks and not just run till you can't run anymore. Which is what I normally do. I'm like, right, let's go for a run. And then I run till I can't run. And then I have really sore legs. But doing the Couch to 5K, I've just started my second week and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine so far. I mean, there's hard bits, but it's great, actually. I'm pleasantly surprised.
I get shin splints because I'm not a big fan of cardio, so I'll do like none, and then I'll have a period like now where I'll be like, oh well, I'd quite like to get fit, but there's no point in me running like just like to the end of the road and back, so I may as well, oh well, I'll go and run 5k today, and then the other day I accidentally ran 5 miles, which was a bit of
oh my god
shock to everyone, but it's all like on hard tracks or hard roads, so then my legs and my joints can't cope with it.
Ruined. yeah that's my problem. And the reason I've chosen to keep going is because I've just started back with my PT. And I was so excited. I'd just literally done a month and I was like, yes, I'm coping with this, I'm not getting any headaches, this is wonderful. And then it's like, oh no, I can't do it. So I was like, this is fine, because one of my goals I'd set myself for this year was to be able to run a 5k. So I was like, that's fine, I can focus on that.
Yeah. And they're everywhere. Park runs are all over the place at the moment. They're all 5k. I mean, not at the moment, but like, generally.
That's my goal. By the end of the year, I want to be able to go and do a park run.
Yeah.
I'm not a natural runner. I can rowing, awesome. Really? Put me on the rowing machine, I'm good to go. Yeah. And I can push through that. It's a complete mental thing, I think.
Yeah.
I can push through rowing. Running, I'm like, oh no.
I used to be a rower. In my first year at university, I was a rower. And to start off with, I could, and it was fine. And then it got to the point where it was actually, I mean, I've never sweat. It's been, sorry to everyone on the podcast, but like, I've never sweat so much in my entire life. Like, you'd be doing a half hour and you'd be 15 minutes in and the water would be in your eyes because your eyebrows hadn't like stopped the sweat, and if you were watching, you'd breathe in and you could taste the sweat in the gym. Like, that's how disgusting it was. So now I literally sit on an erg and be like, no, gotta get off. Can't do it. Whereas running, I can kind of like plod along and it's fine. It's all quite jolly. Rowing is just like, I have like flashbacks as soon as I sit down.
Scarred for life.
It's horrible. I was having this discussion with them. We've got some friends staying and they both play ultimate frisbee. Actually, they're Canadian, but they now play for GB. And they were doing weights. And one of them was like, oh, I love doing weights so much. I love pushing myself. And I was like, from rowing, because we'd do weights until you couldn't get up anymore. You'd like squat, and if you still push up, you had to do another 5. So from that, I just no, I do not want to do it. Oh.
How important at the moment do you think it is to stay in contact as a coach? Like, what do you think the role of a coach is in the current situation?
I think it's really important to offer the contact. I think it's really difficult, and actually I was on a UK coaching webinar the other day, and actually they were saying, and this is so right actually, is we've got to be a little bit careful that we don't intrude into people's lives. So I think you need to offer the support, and people will take it if they want. But for example, like, I mean, we're doing this on a video call. They may not want you to actually see into their living room or see into their house or whatever, because it's a part of their life that they don't necessarily share with you.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to offer the support and give them somewhere to go to get that. So for example, like on my app, you know, they can go there and they can get the support. They can message me on the app. That's fine. But I don't think it hurts to check in either. If you haven't heard of somebody who was regularly training with you, it doesn't hurt to check in. And actually, because I've created that loyalty group, I've had people contact me going, oh, I was riding and now I can't ride because I've decided it's too much of a risk. You know, I'm so frustrated. What can I do? And I think perhaps because I've given them that sort of safe environment to do that, they have no problem in contacting me. But I think maybe if I just dropped off the radar and didn't give them anything, then it would be more of an actual issue coming back, because it's like, well, you didn't care when I wasn't there. So it's a bit like, you know, then that you have got to find that fine line between actually really caring and showing support for them through this difficult time, but also looking after yourself as well.
Yeah. Have you set up any like limits on how much people can contact you? Because I deal with our athletes. I work for a sportswear company, and I deal with our athletes, and I have had to point out to a couple of them that actually the mobile number they have for me is my personal number, and they can't ring me at weekends and they can't ring me in the evenings because I'm at home, and like they're lovely, but they don't know me, they know work me. And
yes, yeah. I haven't. So particularly on the Loyalty Club, I've said that they can have unlimited support via messages, which scared me a little bit. But I do have, so I have the wellness settings on my phone and the do not disturb, and that comes on at 9 o'clock at night anyway.
Yeah.
So I have a rule that I don't message or call anybody after 9 o'clock at night. That's it. And because that comes onto my phone, I mean, I don't even get any notifications. And the bottom line is that it can wait till tomorrow probably, and it will be fine. And it's, I just kind of think you have to be a bit careful, don't you, that it doesn't rule your life, but at the same time, you know, particularly at this stage in the proceedings, you have got to be able to offer some support. So I've got quiet before where I feel like I'm working every hour of the day, but as I've got a bit older, I've been stricter and gone, I'm going to do messages when I first get up at the end of my morning routine. There's 20 minutes there to do messages and emails, and then I'm not going to touch it again till this evening or tomorrow morning again.
Okay, so we've got to the 3 questions that we ask everyone. The first is, what is one thing that you wish you'd learned sooner?
Follow your gut.
A good one.
I think for a long time I didn't trust my gut feeling, and as I've got older I've definitely learned to do that because it is usually right.
Yeah. What's one example of when it's like you've ignored it and it had been right? Or the other
God, there's so many. It's like I said, it took me a long time. I think just making sure that actually I think even with horses, even when I've been riding horses and I'm like, this doesn't, this does it, I'm not sure this horse feels quite right. Or, you know, you ride it and you think, no, it's fine, come on, you're just looking for stuff. You know, particularly if you've had a horse that's had an injury before, you start looking for things, don't you, and being really aware of it. And actually, most of the time your gut is right.
Yeah, most of the time I go and see my horse and it's like, my brain is going, she might be lame, that stride wasn't level, and actually my gut is like, no, because if she was lame you'd feel sick right now and you're fine.
yeah exactly. Trust it.
So what's something you would tell yourself 5 years ago on that subject?
It's a good question. Probably lots of things. I think probably, and particularly in the last 5 years, I've learned this more, is not to change who you are or what you're doing because you think it needs to conform to whatever the restrictions or boundaries you have set without even realising. So an example of that is particularly last year, I learned it. So you might have noticed I talk quite quickly. And I have always been somebody who's like quite driven and really, I just need to, if I'm doing something, I'm like on it. And, my husband and my sister are both like, you've always been like this, just, you know, you are just a bit crazy and it's fine. But when I went and I was talking to, so I went to flight change coaching, and I was talking to her about it the other day, and we were saying that when I went on the national coaching program, they said, what's your end goal? Everybody has to come up with an end goal. And I was like, but I don't have an end goal. And they're like, no, you have to have an end goal. What's your end coaching goal? I was like, I don't have one because there's not going to be an end.
No.
I was like, I'm not stopping learning. I always want to keep learning. And they could not get it, literally, to the point that because all the other coaches are a little bit like, what is wrong with you? I actually went to my sister on the way back and I was like, I think I might be wrong. I think this is the way it should be. And she was literally like, no, you've always been like this. You're always going to be like this. It's a good thing. Just take it. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
What would an end coaching goal be? Like, I want to coach someone who goes to the Olympics, because I feel like that's kind of someone
Yeah, there was a lot of that, and or being a team coach, or very, very specific. But I'm kind of like, I really want to I just think you're never a finished project, are you?
No. No, can you imagine if you did teach someone who went to the Olympics and then you were like, that's me done.
Job done, I'm retiring.
What is one thing that you couldn't live without?
I think probably my support network. I've got a really good set of friends and family, and and actually some companies that support me, and I think actually it's really good. They're really helpful, particularly through all of this. Everybody's been super supportive, and I even at one point ran a little online dressage competition, and the Equiami supported it, and it's just I'm massively big on supporting small local companies, and I genuinely think that everybody has to help each other a little bit. So I do my best to sort of work with that, and I'm really lucky. I've got some good supportive friends that tell me that I'm talking rubbish if I need to. And like even when I was setting up the loyalty group, I'd send them this, and I can remember one friend, she was like, well, I don't want to be picky, but here's a list of things you need to change. And I'm like, okay, great, that's why I sent it to you, thanks. So I think I'm really lucky, and my husband's really, really supportive of me, even though I think he thinks I'm mad, but he puts up with it, so it's good.
I feel like that's the story for most people with their other halves. They just accept the crazy and try to ignore it as best as possible.
Even when we got together, I was like, you do realise this probably won't work, because I was when I was working at Capital, and I was like, I'm so busy, and I've got my own horse, and I'm competing all the time, and I just don't have time to be in a relationship. And he was like, yeah, right, okay. And he's a combine engineer, so he was literally like, summer's not a problem for me because I'm not going to see you. Okay, great.
I feel like for some people they're like, but when I'm how much attention are you going to give me? What's going to happen? And for some people they're like, you mean we can date and I never have to see you? That is amazing.
Literally.
Well, I think that's all our questions. Alex, do you have anything else?
Yeah.
No?
No, I think you've covered a lot of stuff that I didn't have, so that's great.
I love these when we get carried away and we're just like, oh, what about this? Oh, what about this?
It's easily
so hopefully this is back to normal soon and you can get back out. But in the meantime, where can people find more information about you and what you're up to at the moment?
So I'm on Instagram, which is just Amy Blount Dressage, and I'm on Facebook. I've got a page there, which is Amy Blount Dressage as well. And my website, which is www.amyblountdressage.co.uk. And if you wanted to, you could join the app on there as well.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much. Happy isolation.
Thanks for having me.
Every time I go outside, I wish everyone a happy isolation, like happy.
It's very positive.
I like to think so.
And hopefully we get you back on soon to talk about coaching.
Yeah,
which is the original plan for this episode.
I suddenly got to the end and was like, oh my god, we haven't asked any questions about coaching, and actually I think we've got another plan. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Let's all say yes with confidence. And then
yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You're frozen.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
right.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
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 Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we enjoyed recording it. Definitely absolutely loved talking to Amy and cannot wait to get her back on to talk about her coaching qualifications. I hope you guys are all doing well. As ever, if you ever need anyone to talk to, you can contact us on the Flick app or emailing theponypodcast@gmail.com, or you can follow us and DM us on Instagram and Messenger. That's both at The Pony Podcast. We are more than happy to chat about anything, even if you just need to talk, even if you just want to say hello to someone who is not in your house, more than happy. I hope you guys are all doing well, and fingers crossed this is all blows over soon. All right, enjoy yourselves. Bye.